It's been months since his case came across my desk, even longer since it caught a break. Whoever this killer is, they're careful, too careful. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to how they choose their victims. Long, short, fantasy, or science fiction, doesn't matter. Anyone and everyone's a target. There's no way to know who's next. But I think I'm beginning to close in. Even the smartest killers slip up eventually. And unfortunately for them, I'm on their case. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and this is the Astral Library, and welcome to another episode of Serial Killer. This time we're joined by Winnie here. Oh, thank you for the kisses. Thank you for the kisses. Who has graciously stolen my seat on the couch. So I am on the floor while she gets to be queen of the couch. It's fine. I mean, she's in my video. Say hello to the cute dog. But we're ready for another spin on the wheel. After doing the first episode of this, I realized I really like picking one specific book for TBR and then just kind of like mood reading my way through other series. Cause like that seems perfect for how I want to be. Cause if you know me, I'm bad with TBRs. I'm too much of a mood reader to stick with them, you know? So I got my handy dandy wheel right here and we're gonna see what we pick. So I'm gonna throw up a graphic on screen. We're ready. We have our wheel, so let's go ahead and see what we get. Okay, don't be something I'm really mad about. Okay. This wheel doesn't like me. This wheel does not like me because I don't own this damn book. So we are going to be doing the Bloodthorn trilogy by John Gwynne. If you remember, I read the Bloodthorn trilogy for I want to say it was like a bookshelf scavenger hunt read, and I was ready to DNF the series until the ending of book one. And it was just so intriguing that I was like, damn it, I want to know what happens. But it was like, if I get it, I get it. Well, the wheel has spoken, and it is time that I apparently continue. I'm not going to be reading this. I'm going to try to find an audiobook just to make my life easier so I can not get as frustrated, I think, by the point of view switches, which was my biggest complaint of the last book, is that it just switched our point of view too fucking often. Like no matter what was happening, no matter what the tension, bam, new character every chapter, and I have to get invested, I have to get introduced. Okay, what was this character doing? What was happening? And it just ruined the momentum of the story for me. I'm not necessarily looking forward to this. I'm hoping the second book is better. At the end of the first book, two of our perspectives linked up. Maybe that will make it a little less jumpy, but we'll have to see. I need to Google what the fuck this book is called. Give me a second. There's 5 books in this? No, fuck you. There's not 5 books. There's 3 books. Yes, okay. 3 primary works. We're only gonna do The Hunger of the Gods. Okay, Libby, help a girl out. I don't want to buy this book. I really don't want to buy this book. I might have to get this from the library, is what I'm finding out. Okay, update. I'm not buying the book because I refuse. And I did find the audiobook on Spotify. We're gonna get through as much of this as possible, and hopefully it will be enough to carry over until the 17th, where I can get this book via my Audible and just get a credit that way, which is fine. Because I really don't want to buy this book. I really don't. I should because I own the first one in paperback. Maybe I will buy it. Maybe I'll get it from the library, and if I like it, then I'll buy it. Let's work smarter here, not harder. So I'm gonna listen to the audiobook to start us off, and I think I'm going to put a hold in at my library to try to get a physical copy of it. That's the goal. What else am I reading outside of that? So I actually have technically already started the audiobook for Our Dark Duet, which is the second book in the, I don't remember what the name of this series, Monsters of Verity series by V.E. Schwab. It is the second and final book to The Savage Song, which I read for Magical Readathon. And I didn't love it. I thought it was quite clunky in its execution, but I also think that's because a lot of the first book was set up for the world and what's going on. and the climax and the actual fun part was just too short in that book. I will say I am enjoying myself a lot more going into this second one. I'm not sure if it's because of the audio format, which I think it's a really well done audiobook. I no longer need the setup for this world and for what's going on, so I can just dive into the story itself. So I've been enjoying that. I'm not very far in at all. I am 2 hours in of a 10-hour audiobook, so I'm just starting it. So that's that. I also want to read the last book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, which, let me grab that really quick. Was she good while I was gone? I hope she was. So As Good as Dead, this is the final book of the series, so we can cross off another series. And be done with it, which I'm happy because I enjoy these books a lot. They're so much fun that I'm very much looking forward to how the series is going to end, because I hear shit gets wild and gets dark, so I'm here for it. So those are the 2 extra ones I'm going to read in this vlog. I might pick up a third one. I don't know what at this exact moment in time, because I don't know what I'm gonna be in the mood for. And this is the time for mood reads, especially when I'm going to be reading a book of a series I didn't know if I wanted to finish. That's the way the cards go. That's how fate is. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go get that book ordered from my local library, put it on hold, and then I will catch you and have an update on one of the books I'm reading. Probably Our Dark Duet, because that's the one I'm already into. Maybe As Good as Dead if I get it started today. I'll catch you in the next update.
I don't set the world on fire. I don't set the world on fire. I don't set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. I don't set the world on fire. I don't set the world on fire. I don't set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
Hello, I've just been to the library to pick up, I went to pick up one book and came away with some other unexpected ones. The book I went to go pick up was Poison Study by Maria Schneider. This is a book that the Peruse Project was talking about, like pining, and I was like, I want to read that, and my local library is the one that had it. So I finally went to go grab and get my hands on it. So it's not the library I go to all the time, but while I was there, I like to check out the graphic novel section. So I grabbed Seconds by Brian Lee O'Malley, which looked very cute. Kind of reminds me of like Scott Pilgrim, because it's the author of Scott Pilgrim. That would explain it. And then I also got The Keeper by Tananarive Dew and Stephen Barnes. So this was black mystery supernatural-esque, and I'm just here for that. It looked very good. The art looks very interesting. It kind of gives me Clementine vibes. Don't ask me why. I couldn't explain that vibe to you, but that's what it looked like, and it looked interesting. And then as I was scrolling, just like perusing down the aisle, I came across the manga section, and they have it split between like adult and teen manga, which I thought was really nice. Same with their graphic novels. But as I was just kind of like looking down memory lane, I found this omnibus of Paradise Kiss. I couldn't turn away from it, because when I was reading Paradise Kiss eons ago, it was not complete, but this is the completed omnibus version of it. And I remember liking this, but also being unhappy, and I can't remember why, but now that it's fully freaking done, I thought, I gotta give it a read, right? I gotta give it a read to see how it actually all ended. If you liked Nana, you should definitely give Paradise Kiss a try. They're very much similar vibes. It's been a long time since I've interacted with Nana. Never finished, but Paradise Kiss apparently did. So I'm curious to see how this ends, because Aya Izawa is very much an author that tells like these really deep insights on life, which is why Nana is so popular. It's phenomenally done. And the fact that it's not finished is heartbreaking to so many. When she does finish a story, what does it turn out like? So I will be diving into this at some point. And while I was at the library, I was actually listening to this is not the book, but I was listening to A Hunger Gods, which is a sequel to this, and I'm only like 3% in. I'm not very far in at all. It picks up immediately where this book leaves off, and I have vaguely enough of a memory of what happened in this. It's okay. They hit me with the thought cage, and I almost had like a visceral reaction to that word because it was just repeated so many times in this book. So hopefully the second book does not have that same, repetition in it, but we will see. I'm going to give it a fair shot. The ending was interesting enough. The premise was interesting enough. I just don't think I enjoy the writing style. So maybe audiobook will be helpful, especially since I'm going to be listening to it at a faster pace because the narrator's slow as fuck. So I was listening to that. I've also gotten more into Our Dark Duet. I am how many percentage into that one? My Goodreads says I'm at 29%. Might be a little bit more. Might be at like 32% because I don't think I've updated it. I'm still very interested in it. It's so much better paced now that we've got all the setup done and we've gotten all the kind of like weird shit going on. That's been good. And I have started the third book for this vlog, which is As Good as Dead. In fact, I got my very apt little knife bookmark because I was like, it has to go in here. It's so cute. And I just love the way it sticks out of a book, like it stabbed it. I didn't get very far into this one yesterday at all. I made it 21 pages. So I'm really only getting to not even the full premise of it. Just kind of like, what's gonna be the background plot? Which, when I tell you, this book's already had me screaming. I was like, this bitch, I can't believe he's still in it. I can't believe he's still a thing. I hope he gets what's coming to him. I do. If you read this book, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I hope he gets it. I hope he's the one who gets his knife. Okay, cool. So that's what I've been reading. It's only been a couple days or so. So I don't have too much to update you on. I've just been pottering around. I need to get some work done at some point this weekend because I have student essays coming in, so I want them as done as possible. I want to be as done as possible with my writing, so I'm not worried about it. But yeah, that's all the update I have for you guys. I just wanted to give a clip where I'm actually talking rather than just potting around doing some aesthetic shots as much as I remember to do aesthetic shot. I might shift gears to really focus on at least 2 books, like an audio format and a physical reading format, which I'm only doing 1 physical reading so far. No, that's all. I'm in the middle of another one. I can kill that one today though. I might kill that one today. Okay, so I can focus on physicals and then audios, which are 2 different mediums, and I do them in 2 different spaces. All right, but like I said, that's all I have. So I'm gonna go ahead and go, and I'll see you in the next update. I think I left you off where I was saying I was in the middle of like 3 books. I have finished 2 of them because I was reading War Prize, which was a reread, and technically not part of the series, kind of, because I've finished all the books in that series, or at least I finished the core series of that, and I don't have any plans to continue with that. So that's never been a part of the plan, but I did finish that book. And then I finished, I'm so mad about this, but I did in fact finish Our Dark Duet. And you know how the last book, or the first book rather, I said was too little of things happening? It was like 90% of that book was setup of the world, and then the last 10% of the last like 50 or so pages was all the action. And I wish that we got that action a little bit more distributed, that it was a longer piece. This book, I feel like we had too much going on. There were so many plot lines and so many characters and so many perspective switches that I don't know why this was a duet. I really and truly don't, because there was a rich enough world and a rich enough plot that I would have liked to have seen this drawn out more, and for each of these ideas to really feel fleshed out rather than feel really rushed in this second book. It reminds me a lot of how I feel about the second season of Arcane. Loved Arcane. Love all the plot lines they introduced, but it just felt like I was bouncing between too many, that I couldn't really see the development or the kind of worth of all of them. Same thing here. I liked a lot of the plot lines they had, but because there was too many of them and the book wasn't even that long, it was a 10-hour audiobook, so it's maybe like 300 to 400 pages at the most. And there just wasn't enough time to see all of those ideas to fruition, if that makes sense. And the way it ends, I got a little bit of a spoiler because I was trying to look up some art for the book, and people were complaining about the ending. And I was like, okay, I'm in for it, right? But when I reached the ending, I was like, this is stupid. I can understand the fates she decided for some of the characters. I can hang with that. But the way it just ends like that and there's not enough time for those fates, that's all I have to say about that. I did end up giving it a 2.5 stars, unfortunately, because I wanted to like it so bad. I really did. I was enjoying the first half of the book, but as it kept just going, I was like, there's not enough time in this book for things to happen the way I want them to happen. And that was true. I ran out of time and I ran out of space for this book to really take this plot anywhere. And that's sad because the writing's still really good. The characters are so interesting. I really, really like the dynamic between the two characters. I really like how their character motives themselves and the complications they have with those motives. All that was great. It was just too much going on. So that was that. And then oh God, how far am I? I'm like 30% into The Hunger of Gods by John Gwynne, which is the main focus for this vlog. Speaking of perspectives, you remember how last time I said the thing I hated most about this book was I kept switching perspectives? They somehow added more perspectives. There's more characters I have to keep track of, and I'm gonna be honest, listening to it, I don't know if it's helping me all that much because we'll be switching back and forth. I'm like, wait, who the fuck is this person again? And it's not even my core characters, it's the new characters. It's like, who the fuck are you? Why do I care? What's going on? How is this all connected? And the narrator's voice is just dry. I don't know what it is about certain fantasies, boy fantasies, be real, with these dry ass narrators. I don't know what sort of power fantasy smooth male voice they got going on, but I hate it. I really do. They're so monotone. They feel like the narrator to like The Hobbit. Like that intro, here's the Shire and da 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 da. Like I don't want that voice. I don't want that voice for my entire book. I find it so droning and it turns me off an audiobook really fast. That being said, I can't stop because I'm already 35% of the way in. I would switch to physically reading, but I'm waiting on my libraries to get me the physical copy, and they're both and all the copies are on hold right now. So your girl's stuck with the audiobook until it finally finishes. So pray for me. I'm debating if I want to employ my 50% rule. Like, if I'm just not enjoying it, I find nothing enjoyable or interesting, that I'm just going to DNF this book. And if that's the case, if I do decide to do that after 50% mark, we're just gonna roll another one and we're gonna remove that series from the list because I'm not gonna read any more of it. Other than that, I haven't been doing a lot of reading. It's been mostly audiobooks as I run around. I've been trying to prioritize my article for my exam, and I got about 1,600 words into that, so that's good. Set that off to my advisor for more feedback because it needs it. I've been struggling of trying to get my thoughts across, especially since I'm working with Uncle Tom's Cabin in this section, and I fucking hate that book. It's ugh. That's all the reading updates I have for you. I don't think I've been reading anything else. Let me double check the story graphs. I'm still doing great on my streak, by the way. I'm at a 52 streak. I need to update it for today so I can have 53. My goal is to get to 60 and to fuck off, to stop like really worrying about this. I think I'm gonna take a break from reading because tomorrow, and I'm so excited for this, I'm getting a tattoo. In fact, I'm getting 2 tattoos. I'm getting 2 things on my wrist and I'm getting some swords on my thigh. I will for sure show you some of the footage from that, whether it be me actually getting the tattoo or me going into getting a tattoo, but I'm so excited. I'll show you the inspiration photos for that tomorrow. It'll probably be filmed on my phone, which is fine. But other than that, yeah, that's all I have for you. I'm gonna go ahead and go because I'm sort of hungry and I would like some actual relaxation time before I have to tutor and then go into work. I'm gonna go. I'll catch you in another update. Hello, welcome to my car. I'm here outside the tattoo studio and I'm very excited and we get some tattoos done. I'm gonna throw my photos up on screen. So I plan to get a fan of swords on my thigh and I plan to get 2 stars on my wrist. And I am very excited. I am here early, but I'm gonna go ahead and go in. I've had lunch, my artist is here, and I'm so excited. All right, I'll catch you later. I'm in my PJs, yes. And it is, in fact, the middle of the day. But I wanted to update you because I've got my tattoos. I'm pretty sure the previous clip, I was just in the parking lot about to get them. And I showed you the inspo pictures, but here they're done. So here are the ones on my wrist. So they're 8-point stars. They're so cute. They hurt like a bitch. Especially this like part that goes a little bit on my palm. Oh! That shit hurt. I knew it was gonna hurt. He knew it was gonna hurt. But they're done, and I like them. I like getting glimpses of them as I'm moving my arms around. It's very nice. I will say, healing these are not gonna be fun because this little movement, not fun. It's gonna get real stiff when it gets to the scabbing stage, which is going to suck very, very much. In fact, it's already giving me trouble. And then I also got my bigger piece, the sword. Kind of hard to angle you. But yes, those babies. They're so detailed. They're so fucking cool. You know, I'm gonna throw a picture up right here. He added these like little stars in between some of them, which mimic these. Love it, love it. Love the callback. Love that he pays attention to those details like that. They're so cool. I'm so happy. Did it cost me a lot of money? Yes. But money well spent. But I'm not getting any reading done with this because I don't want to be holding anything in my hands for a very long time. Particularly not a book which I tend to rest in my wrist because they're kind of heavy. I have been listening more to The Hunger of Gods. Here, let me actually move so I'm more into daylight, huh? So I've been listening more to Hunger of Gods. I am 45, maybe 48% of the way in now. So I'm almost to that 50% mark and I'm still having a hard time grasping onto it, and I 1000% think it's the narrator. But I also don't know if I want to go and read it because I didn't enjoy his writing style in the first place. I just found the stories interesting. And I'm finding, even as I am listening to it and gathering some of the story, I really only care about Orca's story. Like, she's the girl I want to follow the entire time. She's the one who I think's connected to the most of everything that's going on. And that's who I want to follow. But you know who I haven't got a lot of in this book? Fucking Orca. I don't know if this is gonna be a DNF. It might have to be a DNF because I'm just like not necessarily having a fun time. And why am I gonna waste my time with a book I'm not having a fun time with? You know, you get me? You get me? I think that's it. I haven't read any more of Good Girl, Bad Blood. No, whatever the last book is. I haven't read any more of that. I would say I'll do it tonight, but I'm not gonna do it tonight. I know myself. But I want to get more into that because it's fun. And I think I need a bit of fun. I think I've just been hitting bad book after bad book after bad book, which I think is also why I started rereading Mindfuck, because I've loved that series and I've been wanting to do a reread for a while. And when I was getting my tattoos done, I just started reading the first book again. Probably will read a little bit more of that tonight. Yeah, that's all the updates I have for you. I just wanted to show you off my new tattoos because I like them. They're very cute in my opinion. So I'll catch you when I have another update, hopefully when I make a decision regarding The Hunger of God, because I think I'm almost up on how much I can listen to on Spotify, maybe. And I have not gotten either of my holds for it from the libraries. We're running out of time anyways. Update, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I've made it past the 50% mark. I'm now at 68%. So I'm 70% through this book and I'm over it. I'm not having fun at all. I'm not interested at all. The only story I'm really kind of invested in, like, find myself paying attention to is Orca's, but even then I'm just finding it dragging. And so I'm going to officially just cut it here. We're done. I'm so tired. I could read so many other good books. I don't know why I let it go on as long as I did. So we're gonna do another reroll and we're gonna pick another book just to focus on for this vlog because I don't want to. I'm pulling up the wheel right now. We have so many other series left. Hopefully again, one that I own. So I do have an Audible credit, so I can use that for whatever I'm getting that I maybe don't own and I want to listen to an audiobook. Let's see what I get. Something nice, please. Okay. This will actually knock off a series of this. So this is Aristotle and Dante by Benjamin Allier Sanez. Let me go grab it. So I've got it. It is Aristotle and Dante Dive into the Waters of the World. I've had this since it was published. So 2019, 2020 it came out. 2021. So I've had this for a while. And it's YA and a contemporary. So this should read a lot faster, thank God. We're gonna finish this one. This is gonna be the last book of the vlog, probably. That and the Good Girl's Guide to Murder Conclusion, which again, I don't remember the name of. So those two I'm gonna concentrate on and read because I need to pick me up. I need a win, you know? And hopefully this book will give me a win because I really, really loved the first book. I'm curious to see how this series is gonna end, especially since this book came out so much later better than the first one. But I think this is just following their romance. Let's go ahead and read the description, why don't we? In Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe, two boys in a border town fell in love. Now they must discover what it means to stay in love and build a relationship in a world that seems to challenge their very existence. Ari has spent all of high school burying who he really is, staying silent and invisible. He expected his senior year to be the same, but something in him cracked open when he fell in love with Dante and he can't go back. Suddenly he finds himself reaching out to new friends, standing up to bullies of all kinds, and making his voice heard. And as always, there's Dante. Dreamy, witty Dante, who can get on Ari's nerves and fill him with desire all at once. The boys are determined to forge a path for themselves in a world that doesn't understand them. But when Ari is faced with a shocking loss, he'll have to fight like never before to create a life that is truthfully, joyfully his own. It sounds sweet. It sounds like it's gonna be a bit heart-wrenching, but in the best ways, you know? Hope to God it's better than Hunger of Gods. Alright, that's the update I wanted to give you. I've read zero much more on The Good Girl's Guide to Murder since I updated you. Haven't touched it. I've been busy, not only with getting tattoos, but also just in general grading, which I did finish, thank God. And there's a new video out. So all that has been eating at my reading time. I'm going to spend some time this week reading because I miss it. I need it to relax. I'm gonna do the things I said I was gonna do, and I'll catch you when I have another update on this. It's been a couple days, and honestly, I'm surprised that I have this update for you because I just kind of flew through this book. I ended up getting the audiobook for this, and it was only 10 hours long, so it wasn't a long audiobook, but I finished it, and I want to say like 2 to 3 days, maybe more like 2. I'm of two minds about this book. On one hand, it has that very lyrical and beautiful writing, and there was really like poignant moments in this book that like were emotional and just really fitting for the journey that like Aristotle in particular was on. But it's also a book that I feel had too much going for it. Like there's just too many things going on, and it was chaotic in the way that like teenage life is chaotic, but also in the sense of like there was so many things going on, like nothing was important, if that makes sense. And they almost did a fucking third act breakup, and I'm like, ugh, I hate the third act breakup. I do. It's so pointless. I was gonna be so mad. Okay, I was gonna be so bad. And I definitely think it's one you should read if you've just finished Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Because this book almost picks up immediately after that and just like fucking hits tires to the ground and go. Which it's been, I want to say a couple years since I've read the first book. So jumping into the second book was a little wild. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Who's everyone again? What's the situation? And I should have looked up a summary. That was on my part, but I just decided to struggle and be lost, which was fine. I found my footing not too far into the book. I will also say though that Lin-Manuel Miranda was the narrator for it, and love him. Talented man. Did not like him as a narrator. He just couldn't differentiate voices very well. So like when certain people were speaking, like I had a hard time like figuring out when the transition was, oh, we were talking to this character and then this character's responding. That took some getting used to just in terms of like his narration style. Not that big of a deal. I still listen to it. Still better than the fucking narrator for Hunger of Gods. Ugh, not gonna say anything more about that. We know how much I did not enjoy that book and how long I sat through it regardless. I ended up giving it a 3-star. It was gonna go towards a 3.5, but I was really just not happy with the like last, I don't know, maybe quarter of the book, maybe a little less than a quarter. Like the ending of the book was not strong. And the overall book was okay. I was enjoying myself. It was very beautiful. I really like that it's set against the AIDS pandemic in the 80s. I think I just forgot that this was a book set in the 80s, but it is. And the AIDS pandemic takes a really heavy presence in this book. Now, do I think it was handled in the best way? No, I feel like we never got any real involvement. And I feel like this is a book that really could have delved more into that. I think especially how prevalent it is for our two main characters in the relationship. I think these are really important books for young teen adolescents, especially going through crisis of identity or sexuality or trying to like discover who you are and how you fit into this wide fucked up world right now. I think these books are great for it. Now, me as an adult, almost 30 something, kind of settled in who I am, my sexuality and all that, it dragged a little bit, but that's the name of the game. That's with going into YA. Sometimes it's gonna drag. I enjoyed it overall. Again, I had my gripes with it, but I think it was cute. I don't think I like it as much as the first one, which I think is the general consensus people have with this book. Overall, 3 stars. think it was good. Now, who would think that the last book of this vlog is gonna be Good as Dead by Holly Jackson? I finally got it in my hands. I went to my office and I actually grabbed it. I'm not very far in. I am 20 pages into this book. She's got her little knife in it and it's time to finally kill this book. I don't think I'm gonna finish it tonight, but I do plan to actually sit down and read it because I miss physically reading. It's been a lot of audiobooks for this vlog, which is why there's not been a lot of clips of me reading. But she's the last one. She's the last one standing. So let's go ahead and kill her off. So then we can mark 2 series off in this vlog. Wow, because this was the last book in a series. This is the last book in a series. Look at me making progress. Oh, 3 series, because I DNF'd a series. I'm doing so well. That's all the update for you. I'm going to go read and chill and enjoy the rest of my day off because it's kind of near the end of it. Everyone, it's been a minute since I updated this vlog. I honestly cannot remember the last time I created a clip. I think I was telling you about how I wasn't reading anything or how I was reading everything very slowly, but I have come with updates. I have actually just finished the last of Network Effect. I think that's the one it was called. Hi Winnie, can I help you? Being sniffed like I was cheating on her with another dog. I was at work. Anyways, I just finished the latest book in the Murderbot Diaries, or rather the latest book that I'm on. I'm not done with the series. I'm closer. Let me figure out what the hell this one was called. I was literally just talking about it, I think in the last clip, how I was listening to that, and I was just kind of listening to it periodically. Okay, I was right. It was Network Effect, and it is the 5th book in the Murderbot series. I did it via audio. It's my first time doing the audiobooks, and I actually really enjoyed it. I think the narrator does a really good job of having just the slightest bit of nuance between the characters, and the way that he does Murderbot, it was perfect. He did such a good job covering Murderbot that it felt like Murderbot itself. It was great. I loved it. The story was really interesting. There was a lot going on. This is the first novel length one, so I was curious to see how that was going to go. I like the directions it's potentially pulling me for the rest of the series. So I think there's 3 more books. I think I'm gonna go back to physically reading them because they're gonna go back to their novella length, which is exciting because they're short, nice little easy read. I'm gonna give it a 4-star rating. I really enjoyed it. I think it was a lot of fun, as Murderbot always is. Things are ramping up here at the end of the quarter. I am so excited to be done and to have at least just a little time off. Like, I just need a vacation, like deep in my soul, you know? But I actually have student essays I need to grade tonight, which I'm not looking forward to. God, what else happened? I went book shopping. I don't know if I recorded a clip of me hauling books. So you know what? Let me go ahead and do that. Let me show you what books I got because it was a chunk of them. Give me 1 second to grab them. Okay, I have my stack just off camera here, precariously placed, so we're gonna go down it. So the first thing I have here is The Accomplishments of the Duke's Daughter by Rhea, with illustrations by Haruki Futaba. This is a Japanese light novel. I've always been really interested in the genre, and I read a lot of webtoons and comics, but I haven't read a lot of light novels. So I figured I'm gonna go ahead and choose like the genre I like the most. These are popcorn reads for me. So it's a villainess isekai, I believe. So she's been reincarnated in her favorite otome game, and the art's just stunning. And it's not too long, so I figured this would be a perfect first dive into the light novel genre to see how I enjoy it, to see if it's something I want to continue reading more of, or if I just want to stick to their adaptations in the webcomics or manhwas. A trial that just, it sounded good, sounded sweet. I was browsing a lot of them, so I was like, let me finally make the dive and choose one. Then I have This Monster of Mine by Shalini Abesekara. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. It's a beautiful book. I was drawn in by the cover and the title, This Monster of Mine. And I believe it is Dark Academia. No, I lied. This is a police one where she was 18 years old. Someone kills her family. She's out for revenge. And she ends up working with the person who she thinks did it. Whether or not he actually is the person who committed these crimes and who she's trying to get revenge on, in truth, yet to be seen. But it sounded really interesting and the cover's really pretty. And then I got this really pretty edition of Pygmalion. So this is the Easton Press edition of Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw. And it's gorgeous. I go to this one bookstore with my friend Sarah twice a year on my birthday and her birthday. And on my birthday, we saw this copy and she's found another copy of a book, and we're like, okay, if these books are still here when we come for your birthday, we'll get them. And mine was luckily still there. Hers, unfortunately, was not. Someone made out like a bandit with hers. You know, all the Eaton editions, they're leather bound. They got the pretty gilded edges, the really high quality paper and illustrations in it, and ribbon bookmarks. So I like collecting them when I get a chance to, and I really like that bookstore. So it's like a double whammy that I get to support that bookstore and collect beautiful editions of my favorite classic. And Pygmalion is a classic I really, really enjoy. And then this is kind of a double copy. I always wanted a hardback copy of Renegades by Marissa Myers. I bought the first one in paperback because I bought it at an indie bookstore and I just really wanted to read the series. But the rest of my series is in hardback, and I've been hemming and hawing whether I wanted to just straight out buy a new copy of it or wait till I find it in the wild, and I found it in the wild. Now, I did feel a little bad because there was a whole set of them in the store, and I felt a little bad separating the set, but I saw this again on my birthday. I was like, I'm just gonna take it. I was nice last time and no one grabbed it, so now I'm going to take the book I want out of it. And I love it. I love this series so much. It's in great condition, like still pretty white pages, not dinged at all, for a series I really love. And now I have them all matching, and I'm not getting rid of my original paperback because I really like the display I have for it. So it's just gonna be added on. It's gonna add to my lovely collection. Also, I was continuing on my journey of collecting volume ones of manga series I really love, or manga or animes that I really love that I just want to own. So continuing that, I bought the first volume of Dead Man Wonderland. This is a series that I'm forever upset that the anime never continued because this manga was so fucking good. It's so good and interesting, and the fact that the anime never finished is a travesty. It's one of the few where I watched the anime first and then I dived into the manga and read it to completion because I just needed more. And that's not something I'll do very often. Sometimes I will usually stick to the medium I start in. So if I start with the manga, I'll stay in the manga. If I start with the anime, I stay with the anime. This is one of the ones I cross boundaries for. And I still think about it to this day. Just some of the scenes from the anime, some of the concepts from the manga. Oh, so good. I loved it so much. And then I also got volume 1 of Naruto because Naruto is one of my childhood animes and I will always stan it and love it to bits and pieces. I don't know, it makes me very fond and nostalgic. I also got another manhwa. This one I've never actually read before. It's called The Villainess is a Marionette by Mangle, with the original story by Honey Rim. It was gorgeous. I actually read this the day I got it. And I have to say the story is complex in a way that I don't know that's working for it. It's only the first volume. It's very formulaic. Art in this is so fucking pretty. Just every scene, every character portrait, so well done, so gorgeous and captivating. I'm curious to see how this will continue. I don't know if I'll continue buying the volumes themselves. I think I might just stick at this first volume and read online. but I'm definitely intrigued with this. Also got The Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. This is the second book in the Children of Blood and Bone series, or the Legends of Orishas, I think is the name of the series. I found this secondhand. I read the first book a couple months ago and I really, really liked it. So I'm very, very excited to continue on with the series. In fact, I believe I have this one on audiobook, or I have book 2. Whether that be this one or the third one, I don't know. But I do plan to actually get them in hardback because I do own the first one physically. So I want to continue having this series in my library as well. Then I got a new release, The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgkinson. This one was a dark academia that I was confusing the previous one for. Another cover by, or rather a spine by. I saw this like silver spine. I was like, what the heck is that? It caught my little magpie attention, you know? This one's dark academia with a bit of epic fantasy, and it's a debut. So I love giving new authors a try, especially when they do female fantasy. It also seems like we have a bit of political intrigue in this because we have someone fighting for the throne. Very cool, very interesting. I also got Where the Dark Stands Stills by A.B. Poranek. Found this at the used bookstore. My friend Sarah said she read it and she really, really enjoyed it. Also, Paco from Bad Witch Books. Also, this is a favorite of his, so I think I'm gonna really enjoy it. This is, of course, fantasy, but I think also involving fae and demons. All things I like, and I hear it's not cozy, which is great because I am not a cozy fantasy person. I wish I was. I wish I could just be with you all on that train, but I'm not. But I want turmoil and angst and action in my stories. The last thing I have in this little haul is The King of Crows, which is part of the Diviners series by Libba Bray. I have not read this series yet, but I am collecting them because I hear it's a series people really, really enjoy and love. When I saw this one at the used bookstore for like really cheap, I think it was like $5 maybe, I was gonna get my hands on it, especially because it's kind of hard to find the hardbacks. But I'm actually thinking about butter reading this series with my friend Sarah because I think it's a series we both would enjoy. It's like 1920s mystery detective fantasy thriller-esque, or at least that's what I've gleaned from everything I've heard about it. Probably give it a chance regardless. But I'd love to hear your opinions. That is all the books I got this past weekend. Again, it was a birthday celebration for my friend Sarah. So we do it every year. And it was nice just to kind of go around and buy books. It's just a day off. Don't you love it? Time to get back to reality. I have student papers to grade tonight, unfortunately. And I do gotta finish this vlog out because this is the last book we're gonna have for this vlog. It's almost done. I am 74%. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm almost there. It's really interesting. The only reason why I stopped is I think I got busy to do something else. I think I got interrupted. Not even at a chapter break, which is how I know that I got interrupted. Because if I stopped organically, I would stop in the middle of a chapter, or I would stop at a new chapter. So I'm very, very excited to get back to this. I might try to finish this out tomorrow because I'm just gonna come home and relax during my break between school and work. It's gonna be a good time. That's gonna be it for me for this clip. I'm going to snack a little bit more because I'm still hungry. And then I think I'm going to watch an episode of something and then grade some papers after I put all these books away again. But I will catch you in the next update. I just finished As Good as Dead, and I want to say I loved it. I want to say I really did. But this book assassinated itself in the last 10 pages. The last 10 pages of this book were so bad. Oh my God. I don't know how this good of a book does that in the last 10 pages that just undoes everything else so thoroughly. And I literally have just been on a spiral looking at reviews to see if anyone else just like has that energy that I need, that I am feeling. It kind of pissed me off because I think this is a good book. I think it's good. I think the twist we get is so well done and so perfectly set up that it's so believable. Like a lot of people were complaining like, oh, it's not in character for Pip to do no. I disagree. I think it's very much in line with the journey we see Pip on from book 1 to now. I think it's perfect. I believed every single moment of it. While we're in that moment, and I'm trying not to spoil anything because I'm trying to make this nice and friendly to all. But that final moment, and just the complete reversal of every smart decision she's ever made and all the smart decisions she was making, and it falls apart, and it dropped a whole star rating. This was going to be a 5-star read. I was here for this. I loved the twist. I was invested. And then the last 10 pages happen, and I fucking can't. I cannot with this. How do you end a series like that? And like, some people are like, oh, well, we get some sort of conclusion. No. It was fucking bullshit. We shouldn't have had to have that conclusion. We shouldn't have had to have that little extra after the time skip. No. Because it never should have happened in the first place. I'm so angry in just how it wrapped up and the way just like, it felt like we had to force Pip to be stupid in order to get this ending. And she was doing so brilliantly. And she was thinking through everything. And then when it came to it, she fucking just like 180. She's like, I lost all my brain cells. Fucking you did. Oh my god. I can't believe that's how we're ending this vlog. I can't believe that's how we have to end this, on that shitty note. But we are, because I can't. I can't do anymore. I need to go do literally anything else than think about this book, because I think I'm going to commit murder myself if I have to think about this book for any longer. Sorry to end on a kind of a bummer note, but we did it. We've finished one whole series in this vlog. No, we finished 2 because we finished The Savage Song, or The Monsters of Verity. We're one more book down in Murderbot. I don't know if I updated on yet. Finished that book. We DNF'd a series, so we're 3 series down. Hell yeah. No, we're 4 series down. Shit, look at this. We're so productive. 4 series down. We finished the Aristotle Dante. We finished the Good Girl's Guide to Murder. We finished or DNF'd the Bloodthorn trilogy, and we finished The Monsters of Verity. That's 4 series down, guys. We are doing so well with this challenge. Oh my god. That's a high note. Let's end there before I remember anything more of this book and it pisses me off. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've read this series, let me know what were your thoughts to this ending if you got that far, because I need to chat. Okay, I need to chat and rant. Otherwise, if you have nothing to say, go ahead and leave me a black heart emoji. Let me know that you were here to the end. But that's gonna be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.